Yeah, but listen, big fan of your newsletter and big fan of the events, which I am actually gonna be. I sign up for it. I'm gonna
Good.
be
I saw
playing
that.
there. That's
We'll
it.
see
I
you there.
sign up. This time I'll be there. I already put in the calendar. I actually told my wife, okay, I'm not playing. I'm busy on May 2nd.
We
Yeah,
got that blocked out.
yeah, I got that blocked out. Yeah. So, so let's start. Where are you originally from?
I am from New Jersey. Um, I was born up in Clifton. Now, then we moved to Somerset County when I was going into first grade. So yeah, I kind of grew up playing golf on the Somerset County public courses. My first golf lesson was at age 8 at Green Knoll Pitch and Putt. I
Which
have
is right
vivid,
here.
right? Yeah, you are. It's like your backyard. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Um,
I live on Country Club Road, and that's like right
oh,
there.
you could see it.
Yeah, yeah,
You
I
could
could
hit it
see
with a
it. Yeah,
stone throw.
yeah.
um, but yeah, so I actually have vivid memories. I don't know why this is a memory in my head, but it is. Like I have memories of standing in line at standing in line, to register for with my mom to register for golf camp when I was 8.
Hmm.
In line, not online, because back then you had to do it in line.
In line,
Now
yeah,
everything's just online, but it was in line back
yeah.
then. Yeah, so that's kind of where I got started, and fell in love with the game, and now here we are.
So, and what was like the? I mean, so yeah, you've been playing pretty much since what? Since 8, you said,
Yeah,
or
basically my whole life. Yeah.
yeah? How? What was the best? Like your lowest handicap?
Probably when I was playing in high school, but I didn't really keep a handicap because I didn't have
Yeah.
to. Um,
And
so
where did you go to high school?
I went to Hillsborough High School.
Oh, okay.
We used to play a course called Hillsborough Country Club.
Mm.
It was like on the side of a mountain. It was probably like it looked like it had a few hotel rooms from back in the day. It was probably a pretty hopping joint back in its heyday.
Hmm.
Um, Visiting teams hated to play it because it was like on the side of a mountain and pretty quirky, which is why our coach loved to play it because
Yeah.
it kind of gave us a home course advantage and we kind of knew where to hit it and where not to hit it. You still end up in the spots that you don't want to be in, but yeah. So Hillsborough High School, we were a decent team back then. I'll tell you what, high school golf was a lot of fun, man. You get to
Yeah.
leave, go play golf every day after school, and that's not necessarily a bad life.
Yeah, no, I mean, I never played golf in high school, but I used to play soccer, and that was I tell kids nowadays it's like you gotta play sports. I mean, those days especially when I'm stressed out because of work, I'm like, dude, I remember those days. Just
Yep.
were like just happy to like go and play,
Yep.
have a game. That's just amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think especially, in today's kind of world where I think school is a lot harder on kids now it's harder to be a student and it's harder to be a kid now than it ever has been, I think. So I think, having that is something to look forward to, and whether it's golf or whether it's soccer or whether it's any other sport or activity after school, I think is important.
yeah,
Fortunately for me, it's golf, and it's something that I could do, and that I've done for my life, and I can do for the rest of my life. So.
yeah, yeah, totally. So now you have a newsletter. It's called From the Drop Zone, and
Yes.
how did the name come about?
So when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to name this whole venture, and kind of what I wanted to get out of this whole newsletter and community, which I'm sure we'll talk about, and just Instagram and stuff like that, I needed to come up with a name. And basically what I've come to realize is that I think it's not necessarily like the golf that happens that's important about golf. I think it's the stories and the camaraderie and the fellowship after golf.
Hmm.
So basically, the name From the Job Zone comes from a story of my time playing TPC Sawgrass. When you book the trip, you're thinking about the 17th hole. When you're on the flight down to Jacksonville, you're thinking about the 17th hole. When you're swiping your credit card for an absurd amount of money at the pro shop, you're thinking about the 17th
Yeah,
hole.
when they're robbing you at gunpoint, because that's what
Oh
it
my
is.
gosh. I went, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago now, and it was probably, it was like, that was a big nut to crack that, and now it's like Jesus, but people pay it. That's supply and demand, right? But you're thinking about the 17th hole, and basically since you booked the trip. So yeah, obviously it comes from the 17th hole of I hit a tee shot on the 17th hole. It was beautiful, right on the pin to the Sunday pin on 17, and the one on the back, on the right
Yeah.
side. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be beautiful. It hits the bunker, like the hill of the bunker. And I'm in there holding my pose. I'm like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. It's going to be like the Ricky
Listen.
Fowler slide in there to 3 feet. um, and it just like slowly rolls back down the slope off the bunker and slowly rolls back down and slowly rolls back down. And it ends up in the water. So my next shot was from the drop zone. So now I guess it's not necessarily the story of my tee shot at 17. It's the story of my second shot on hole 17 because that one
Yeah.
was from the drop zone. But that's the memory that I'll have of playing like the big PGA Tour course. The logo for this whole thing is the picture of me thinking that I'm going to hit the green on 17 at Sawgrass, and we hit land. It just didn't stay on land. So that's my story of why it is called From the Drop Zone, because I think golf is important, have stories, and that's my story of how I kind of got involved in this whole.
Did you? What do you shoot on that hole? Did you actually make it on the second try or
Yeah, we
no?
got par on this. We got par on the second ball, and I
Yeah.
and I played again. We played 2 days in a row, and I got par on the first ball on the second day.
Oh,
So
nice, nice.
we kind of exact some vengeance there.
Yes. So what made you decide to start a newsletter rather than a podcast, like a YouTube channel or like some other place? Lots of people going for podcasts nowadays. But what made you start a newsletter?
I think because that's what I think I'm good at. I think I'm good at writing. It's something that I enjoy, and if I'm going to do something that, I want to put stuff out there into the world about golf. I want to do something that I enjoy doing, because if it's not something that you enjoy, then you're just putting stuff out there. It's just not going to be. It's not going to be good, and you're not going to be proud of what you put out there. I mean, so I think that I like to write. I think that's how I get my creative juices going, and share my you know thoughts and feelings about stuff. So that's kind of why the newsletter started.
How long have you been doing it?
Since October, what's this year? 2024 it was. So about 18 months now.
And how did that come about? You were just like one day, okay, I'm gonna start writing, or
Yeah,
what was?
yeah. One day it was just like um I wanted to do something that was something related to golf, something that's you know unrelated to the real profession and unrelated to something that gets golf's a way to get away from the stresses of everyday life. Even though
Yeah,
golf is an inherently stressful sport,
for
it
sure.
it frustrates you to no end, just like the real world does. And we choose to spend $100 every time we go out there to go play this stupid thing for 4 hours and frustrate the
Um,
hell out of us. But
yeah,
it,
so
it, I,
sometimes a lot more than 100.
well, yeah, but I think we're all a little psychotic, but
Yeah.
it was a way for me to just um, get away from the real world and just do something that I'm passionate about and something that I enjoy, and hopefully that I could other people enjoy also.
So your tagline is golf conversations you can have over a cocktail in the clubhouse. So my question to you is, what is the cocktail of choice, and what's the clubhouse vibe that you prefer, that you're always chasing?
The cocktail of choice is always usually a transfusion. If you get one with not a lot of grape juice, though, some people put too much grape juice in it. You got to get just the right amount. So it's people
Yeah.
say it's very easy to make it. So like you got to get the right amount, and you get a little lime in there too, and that's what really makes it nice and refreshing on a hot summer day.
Yeah, no, you
Um,
gotta do it. Like I've had some of them that I try myself. You know how they tell you, oh yeah, just make yourself a transfusion.
no, you
You
got
got, you got.
for a 3 ingredient cocktail. It's you got to get the ratios right for sure.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. Any course that has its own specialty cocktail is really cool.
Hmm.
Or special beer that only that course has. Like if you go down to Pinehurst and they have the whole Pinehurst Brewing Company down there. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Um, I know Canoe Brook over in near Summit. They have their own IPA. in cans. So things like that are just really cool. I'm not an alcoholic, but sometimes golf takes
but
you that way.
it unfortunately it goes hand by hand, you know.
Sometimes, sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. So so what do you write in your newsletter? What is the newsletter about? Like what are some of the topics that you tend to touch on, or if you could just give us a little bit into that.
Oh, pretty much anything golf that's on my mind at the time or anything that comes up. I've written about some golf architecture. I've written about PGA and live conversation. I've written about, um, you know, just PGA Tour courses, and I've written about, municipal golf and why that's important, and basically anything that is, you know, r- relatively recent or new or um, in the world of golf, if there's big news, or if there's just something that I want to talk about that happened to me at the golf course, or something that I noticed in my travels or something like that. So it's really anything golf and golf adjacent that I just want to get out there.
So there was a one of the newsletters that the title was "Is Florida Golf Bad?" So let's talk about that. Why? Well, first of all, what's your opinion about Florida golf,
I don't think Florida golf is bad. I think it's misunderstood.
and why is that?
I think it's because it's a product of its environment. Um, Florida is low lying, it's swampy. When they built all these golf courses, it was part of housing developments because that's what the developer wanted. They wanted a housing development with subdivisions and they wanted a golf course. So that's what it is. And golf courses are built based on what the conditions are and what the developer or ultimately who's spending the money, what they want the golf course to be. So if it's going to be through a housing development, as they were all built in the 90s like that, through a swamp, well, it's going to be, have a lot of water, a lot of carries, and it's going to be through everyone's backyard. Um,
Yeah,
I think it gets a bad rap. Um, I'd rather have Florida golf than no golf because it'll give me somewhere to go when it's still 25 degrees up in New Jersey. Or
yeah,
I mean, I'm looking at the laptop right now. It's March 19th and it still says 47 degrees. I think it's a little colder than that. It feels like outside, but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so it
I
gives me
mean,
something to go. And I'd rather have golf than no golf. You know what I mean?
yeah. My whole thing with Florida is again, it's amazing because in December, December, January, and February, like you gotta be down there, right? But yeah, it can be boring.
It can be.
Just being flat.
Yeah,
You're
and I
just
think
flat and water everywhere, right? Especially when you slice it all the time or you're hooking it,
yeah,
depending on the day.
yeah. Depending on the day, right? You never know where the ball's gonna go. Yeah, I think and I think it's not what was the first, and so it's different, right? Um, it's not like it was. It's not like the courses in Scotland, which were the first golf course. It's not like the first courses that were built in the United States. It's just the product of where it is. We'd rather have golf than no golf. So
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your ideal golf course? Like, what is the type of golf that you're like, oh my god, like I could just play this thing every day? Or which golf course around here? Which one is your favorite? Yeah,
I think a hallmark of any good golf course is that you could get around it with one ball. If you don't have to go looking for golf balls every in high weeds, or I'd rather have water than high weeds on golf courses, to be honest, because like at least that puppy is gone. You're not
yeah,
going like, oh, I could find that in the fescue over there. Like you're not gonna find it, but like you think you can, so that just gets frustrating. I mean, obviously, like the good ones are really good.
yeah,
And they're good for a reason. I've been fortunate enough to play Ridgewood. That's obviously fantastic. I've been fortunate enough to play Plainfield. That's obviously fantastic. Uh,
yeah. But I mean, you mentioned weeds and all of that because I mean, there's so many golf courses now that they're just completely wide open, and they're enjoyable, but they don't feel like even for I guess if you're like really, really like you're a beginner, that might be amazing. But if you're somewhere around like okay, let's say high single digit, I'm talking about myself. Sometimes it just like yeah, like I cannot shape my shots all the time, but you kind of want to have a little bit of a challenge. So
Yeah, I
so it's
think,
yeah, go
if
ahead, sir.
there's like, I don't want to make it too hilly because I like walking golf courses when I can, but if there's some
Hmm.
good like, terrain movement and stuff like that and things that keep it interesting and um, you know, it, it really depends on, what it is. That's the good thing about golf, right? Is that there's so many different places that you can go play and what I like may not be what you like. It's golf courses and golf architecture is kind of like an art.
Yeah,
And it expresses golf and the sport in ways that other sports aren't um you know that aren't able to do that. Like home plate to first base is always 90 feet. Well, how long is a golf hole? It could be anything.
yeah,
So you know
yeah. I think I mean it just sometimes golf courses let me backtrack. A lot of times I think the biggest issue is that some people play the you play from the wrong tees, and there are some golf courses that you have to really play from the right tees in order to have some fun, in order to like test you and make you think. Because sometimes a lot of people will go ahead and yeah, I'm not gonna play from the back tees, but I'll play from the tees, nets to the back, right? And that might not be the best way to enjoy the course. You gotta go just one more tee up in order to be challenged by some of the bunkers and stuff.
yeah, and there's no shame in playing from whatever tee you want or whatever tee that you need to move up to. The back tees are there for a reason, but there's also usually two, three, four other tees forward. Let's use those and wear those out rather than wear out the back ones. Um, I think, and it's like the old what was it, Jack Nicklaus or Tiger Woods or whoever it was, I forget. One of the like they didn't let their kid play back the tee until they could break par from the very forward tees, and then you can move a set back, and then you can move a set back. So I'm not saying that that's what needs to be done, but I'm saying like you can still have fun and challenge yourself from way forward tees. And people are gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot like 62 from the front tees." Like, no, you're not.
Yeah, it's not happening. Yeah, no, I even at my club here, when we play, I started last year because I was struggling, and I was like, okay, let me go ahead and start playing from the white tees, which is about 6,100 yards. And our course is very wide open. It didn't used to be that way, but it's forgivable off the tee. But once you play from 6,100 yards, like it's amazing how many things come into play.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, it's like, especially for me, because I'm not, on when I'm hitting it good, it's like, okay, like a 250 carry, but that's when I'm hitting it good. So it's like, like, okay, like you go like, oh my god, this is very difficult. Like, oh, I never hit it into those woods, and now I'm hitting it there.
I'm usually 30 yards back in those woods.
Yeah, yeah, those that high grass doesn't come into play for me. Now it does. Yeah.
Now it does, yeah. And that's a good way to when you do play the same course over and over again, or you want to work on something, or you want to try something. It's play a different set of tees, and it'll change your perspective on the golf course, right? You play the same course over and over again. Well, maybe move up a set of tees and see what it looks like from there, because you probably never do see it from there. So yeah, and that's what makes golf cool too. It's just so flexible that you can play with kind of however you want to play it.
Yeah. So what's a golf opinion that you hold that most people push back on? Like that, what's the one thing that you're like passionate about and people will come in, it's like, oh, no way.
I don't know if I'm passionate about it, but it's the correct thing. It's the correct answer, and you should play out of a divot in the fairway. You should not get relief from
Yes.
a divot because
Uh
at some point, what is a divot? Like
it's a course, yeah.
if you're playing tournament golf, you're gonna get the rules official there every shot because somebody's going to be there. Well, that's a divot. Well, that's a divot. Well, that's a divot. And then you're going to get a rules official try to get to adjudicate this all the time. Just hit the freaking
Yeah.
ball, man. And if you're playing casually, I don't care. Move it out of the divot. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Pick up from 5 feet for par. I don't care. Do whatever you want. But like, if
Well,
you're playing golf, hit it from the divot.
yeah, I mean, and just thinking about it, because I can't remember when, but probably one of the tournaments last year. But Uh, yeah, like I feel that it's unfair that you have to play it out of the divot, but I don't see a feasible way that you can actually, judge what is a divot and what is not without
Yeah,
slowing
it
the
would.
game down completely. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it sucks. I remember I
yeah,
was playing in the qualifier, and my the first tee shot piped it right down the middle, ends up in the divot. I'm like, well, all right, here we go. But that's how it is sometimes. And you get everyone. You only remember the bad breaks like that. You never remember like, oh, the one that bounced off the tree that was hooking out of bounds, and that bounces into the
yeah,
middle of the fairway. You never remember that good break. So, you know what? The golf gods have a way to balance things out. And like I said, if you're playing in tournament golf, hit the ball from where the ball ended up. If you're playing
yeah,
on your own, I don't care. Do whatever you want. But that's my opinion. Like, and since I want to play, you know, tournaments and stuff like that. I mean, if I'm playing just on my own, I'll hit it out of the divot because you know what? I may need to figure out how to hit that shot some other time.
yeah. So now let's talk about the event. So you have a number of events. It's called the Circle Golfing Society. Tell us about what the community is about, and where are the events, and what can people expect from the Circle Golfing Society when they sign up.
Yeah, so I do three events. The name circle comes from three things. It's obviously the shape of this on the scorecards that we're all searching for birdies. You circle
Yeah,
birdies. It's the shape of what the drop zones are, so from the drop zone. And mainly a circle is a community, right? These are your people. This is your circle. So that's where the name comes from. I do three different events a year. Always ticket to my home course in Shannock Valley. Got to show that course off because it's I'm biased, but I think it's really cool and really awesome and really great. Um, and then we're going to Charleston Springs and Skyway, which is a really awesome place. But we don't just do typical stroke play. Um, you know,
yeah. So like
anyone
the,
can
the
do
one
that.
on the one at Nishanik, which is on May 2nd.
Yeah,
What is the name, and what is
it's
the format
yeah.
for that
So
one?
it's called the Cartwriter Cup. We split it up into two teams: Team Transfusion and Team John Daly. And it's like a play on the Ryder Cup, so that's why it's the Cartwriter Cup.
Yeah,
We do 9 holes of match play for in scramble, and we do 9 holes in match play for four ball and singles at the same time. So the good thing is you just have to worry about either playing scramble or playing your own ball on the left, and the software, the app figures all out the scoring, so you could just put your scores in, and the app figures out all the
oh,
scoring.
you don't have to. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You could just put your score in, and the app figures it all out. So it sounds more complicated than it actually is, but it's like a Ryder Cup. You get points for every match. You get 1 point for every match you win, and then the team that ends up winning has the most points ends up winning. So it's pretty cool like that. And then our next one is called the Parkway Playoff. We kind of split into two geographical based teams based on who I always say north and south, but people always get offended where you draw the line. So it's where the northern half of the people who are playing and the southern half of the people who
yeah,
are playing. That's where the line is for that day. Is Central Jersey a place? Yeah, I would say it is. But as me and you both sit right here in Central Jersey
yeah.
right
It's
now,
in
right?
Central Jersey. Yeah,
But so that's like you play match play against everybody on the other team at the same time. So the good thing is you just put the score in the app and it does all the scoring, all the calculations for you. But so while you are playing your own ball, you're also playing like 6 or 7 different matches against everybody at the same time.
yeah.
And then the last one is just like a 2-person best ball kind of format. So yeah, we
And
try to.
that one is a Pulaski at
That's
the
right under
the
the Pulaski
Skyway
Skyway.
on the
Yep, right
under the
under the
Skyway
Skyway.
Golf. Yeah, what do you think about that course?
I
What's
think it's really
your
cool. I think the People's Liberty National, because you got
yeah?
the
That's
views of the World Trade Center and all that. I think it's really cool. I think that's a way that golf kind of gets a bad rap for taking up a lot of space, and it gets just resource draining, and the USGA and a lot of the golf courses are trying to research ways to try to make it less more environmentally friendly. The sport more environmentally friendly, but that course was built on an old landfill.
yeah,
So what else are you going to use that land for? But just letting it sit there. So you might as well remediate it, cap it, and build what I think is a really cool golf course. It's a 9-hole course, so you get to loop it twice when you play with us. And you get the views of
Yeah,
the skyline, and I think the course is really good too. There's some tricky holes out there for it being a little 9-holer. I don't want to say little,
yeah,
but for a 9-hole golf course.
yeah. I mean, it's one of those courses that I really wish it was a full 18-hole course.
Yeah,
It leaves you wanting more because it has some really cool holes. Like a lot of blind shots. I wouldn't say blind, but somewhat blind. And the greens are pretty. I mean, I'm sure they'll never go ahead and put run the greens pretty fast. But if they were to run fast, those greens would be quite something.
yeah, yeah. What? I'm glad they don't run them fast because they are so interesting that if they get too fast, it kind of ruins their interest. It's just it gets unfair. So I'd rather have interesting greens that kind of up and over and around contours and stuff that are a little bit slower than I don't need greens that are running at 14 on the stimp meter. I just don't need that. I don't think anyone.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, I mean, there's probably not many people that can actually play at 14. I've always say like you have greens at 10 running smooth. Hey,
That's all you need. Yeah,
that's
and
all you
everyone
need.
says,
Yeah,
people complain like, oh, 10, like 10's a lot faster than you think it is. Like, no one
yeah.
knows
No,
how,
no many.
like, no one
Let's put
knows
it
what
this
the
way.
number means. I don't know what the number means, but like, I mean, I know what the number means and how it's calculated, but like, no one knows what the actual, like, you say this, they're running out of 10. You're like, that's slow. Like, no, it's not slow.
I'll put it unless you belong to a very exclusive club. Not many people are playing regularly
Yeah,
greens at 10.
yeah.
That doesn't happen that often. So in order to play these events, like, do you have to be like a can you be a beginner? Do you have to have a certain handicap? What's the criteria to join the Circle Golfing Society?
The criteria is that you want to play golf and you can keep up with the group in front of you. So
Perfect.
we have no membership requirements. We have no handicap requirements. All of our events are handicapped. So even if you don't have a handicap, we'll just guess one. None of the
Hmm.
stuff that we do is really serious, but we try to keep it as fair as we can. So yeah, if you want to come out and play some golf and have a good time and play some good golf courses, then we have some events for you.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I am definitely glad that I'll be there on May 2nd. Hopefully, it's a nice and beautiful 80-degree.
I hope so. I put the order in for that. We'll see if it
We'll
comes
see
through.
if yeah. So let's talk about municipal golf. I mean, listen, we all, I think most of us grew up playing municipal golf, and it's something that I think here in New Jersey, because there's really not that much land. Like, I feel like there could be a lot more, but listen, it is what it is. So like,
Land is expensive in New Jersey. That's the
yeah,
problem.
it's like yeah. Listen, I'm in real estate and mortgages, so I see it. It's like there's no place
Yeah.
to live. It's like you're just
Yep.
like it's easier for people just to build houses. But what are your feelings about municipal golf in general?
I think municipal golf is very important to the fabric of growing the sport. I wouldn't have learned how to play golf if it wasn't for the pitch and putt course down the street. Um, I probably still wouldn't be playing golf if it wasn't for municipal golf courses. Um, and they are a way for people to learn the game, to connect with the game, and it's a way that people can meet other people. Like you can meet some interesting people, good and bad, interesting people at a municipal golf
Mostly
course.
good, mostly good.
Mostly good, but there's always some stories. But you could always, and that's how the game really, we go to Ireland and you go to Scotland, like they have club memberships, but it's like they open to the public. So, it makes golf more democratic. It makes golf more accessible, and it makes golf, something that everyone can attain. Golf is an expensive sport to get involved in. When even when you get cheap golf clubs for your first time playing golf, that's still a kind of a considerable expense compared to other sports where if you play basketball, all you need is a $20 basketball. Well, golf you can't get a set of clubs for
Yeah,
$20. And New
you
Jersey
can
is
you can you can get a Pro V1 for $5 that you're gonna end
that's
up losing later.
That's right. Yeah, don't lose it though, because then
Yeah.
you got to go find it at least. But and New Jersey, we're fortunate to have, 5 or 6 different counties off the top of my head that have high quality, municipal golfing systems, that are affordable and that people can play.
So besides Neshannock Valley, which one is your favorite?
In Somerset County, is that where we're
Everywhere.
going?
Yeah, everywhere. It could be outside of Somerset County.
Okay. Yeah, I think, the Rose is really cool in Old Bridge. That's a really good golf course. I think the two Charleston Springs ones down in Monmouth County are really good. Um, I think, an underrated one, which I always seem to enjoy, and I kind of never really knew anything about it, until I played it 2 years ago with my buddy, and now we have a standing joke that we only play it once a year during aeration season because that seems to be how it goes. But Hopewell Valley in Mercer County is
Mm,
it's got some contour around, up and down a pretty decent hill, so it's got some contour to it. You could probably get around there with just one ball, which are two things that I find are important. As we're talking about what makes good golf courses. Yeah, I think there's a bunch of them, that are county related, that and especially if you live in counties that have, kind of like a quote unquote county membership. You pay like,
yeah,
what is it like? The Somerset County is like $70 for the year, and you get $20 off every time you go play. So like you play 3 times, it pays for itself. So it's like a
yeah,
no brainer. Um, and then yeah, it's just a way for, you gotta
yeah.
find those deals because, um, everything's expensive now. Gas just went up $1 in the past 3 weeks. So,
That's a whole different podcast for another.
yeah, oh, I know. I'm
Yeah,
just saying. I'm just saying. You could, with how
yeah.
much that just went up, you could go play golf. You could fill a
Yeah.
tanker, you could go play golf, and I'd
That's
rather
one
go
of
play
those.
golf for cheap. So
Yeah, that's one of those that like once you start talking about it, it's like it's funny because I was just doing another podcast with a couple of weeks ago, and I just went with the guests, and I off camera we went off on a rant about how expensive things are.
yeah,
But yeah,
not
I
not
mean,
not the right municipal golf courses. They are
yeah,
affordable and accessible to many people. So
yeah. No, I mean, I think definitely we're lucky here in New Jersey that there's quite a lot of I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like Union County has some great. They have a couple ones. Somerset County, we're like super lucky because we're like we got way a lot of choices.
yeah, we got 5 that are
Uh,
run by the county. Monmouth County has 5 or 4 or 5. Mercer County has like 3 or 4.
yeah,
Essex County is on a glow up with
um,
all their golf courses with Francis Byrd
yeah.
and Hendricks Field and Wequahic. So, those are
Which
Francis Byrd. Francis Byrd. The secret is out about Francis Byrd, and I'm very mad,
yeah,
because now it's very difficult to get a tee time. But Francis Byrd is awesome, and everyone should go check it
yeah,
out.
yeah. It's the same thing with Rock Spring right there. Like it's impossible to like. I mean, I haven't played Francis Byrne in a long time. I played Rock Spring obviously when I shot my 90 and ended up dead DFL on the
Hey,
mid
hey, hey!
qualifier.
You put a number on the board, and that's more than many people can say.
Yeah, I should have put some letters on the board as opposed to numbers.
No, no, no letters. No, no.
Yeah,
A 90 is more respectable than a WD because
yeah, yeah. But yeah, there's some really good golf courses. Unfortunately, for the people of New York, they don't have anywhere else to go, so they're definitely just coming in and taking time away from
yeah.
Jersey golfers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what is it? 7 days in advance, so you're not on 7 days looking at the phone. It's refreshing until it opens. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. So another thing when it comes to like personal golf, I know you had some newsletters about like how you're trying to become a scratch
I don't know if I'm
golfer.
trying
You're
to
in
become
a
that. I'm just
journal.
trying to qualify for a tournament here.
Yeah, you probably gave up already. Which that's another thing. Like I have learned myself on how to like at some point you go like "Nah, I just want to enjoy golf and just like have a good time as opposed to like trying to get better. And I think it
Yeah,
happens to a lot of people around my handicap, which is I'm an 8. And sometimes it's like, okay, I've been lower, and yes, I can go lower, but it's just like it takes so much work, and then once you start putting that pressure, uh,
yeah.
things don't quite work out the way you want them, unfortunately. But how's your golf game, and like what are your plans for this season? Are you planning to like try and play in any of these tournaments? Have you signed up for anything?
Yeah, I got two on the docket right now. Me and my buddy are playing the four ball qualifier at
Mm-hmm.
Francisburn. So at least we're gonna
Mm,
when we have to finish DFL, well, which we won't, hopefully. But I haven't picked
yeah,
up a club since December, so we'll
that's
see how that goes.
maybe this
Um,
weekend.
oh, I hope so. But so yeah, the four ball qualifier for the NJ Golf, and then the mid am. I got on the calendar too, and I'll always do the Publix qualifier as well. So those are the main three that I try to stick to, and hopefully maybe this will be the year, but we'll see. If not, you get to play some good golf courses and meet some good people, and really,
Where, where
test the
where are you
game and see
playing
how that goes.
the Where are you playing the meet?
Uh, Cobblestone Creek. It's
Okay, okay.
across the street from like Ryder University.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice place. I caddy for my friend there, which he
Yeah,
qualified
yeah,
a
I
couple of
played
years ago.
yeah, I played there I don't know, yeah, a few years ago for something else, and yeah, it was an enjoyable course. So, when the schedule always comes out for the qualifiers and stuff, you got to figure out which ones are are enjoyable golf courses that you want to play. Or you could do the two ways. You could look at ones that you think you could do play well at and qualify at, or you could pick ones that you just want to play. So kind of
Yeah,
balance those two.
I personally still haven't decided whether like to give it a try or not. Because I'm first of all, I have to get my handicap a little bit down just to be able to make it. And then it's like I'm all over the place. Like there are some days where I go like the other day I went to Galloping Hill and I was like hitting balls and I was like, oh my god, I'm back, I'm back. Literally the next day I went in the simulator and I could like it was impossible not to shank it. It was just like
Oh,
I don't know
oh
what the heck
no!
I was doing. And it just like and then I had to go get a lesson. I was like, okay, this is what you're doing, run. No shit. Of course.
Yeah, I could have told you that. I just paid you $150.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's frustrating. Golf is hard. Golf is hard.
Yeah, golf is hard. Yeah. Okay, so let's do a few fun questions. Well, actually, before that, like, what
No
is
fun right now.
the
Back to
no?
serious, right?
Yeah, back to serious, but like I guess in a fun way. But what do you consider like a reasonable green fee nowadays? Like it's
Uh,
$150 too
yeah,
much,
it depends.
or like what?
I don't want golf course operators to watch this and say that I think that it's a reasonable price for $150. No, because then they're low. We could just charge that.
Yeah,
I think it depends, on the course, and I think a lot of it, what comes down to is why greens fees. I mean, obviously they keep rising because minimum wage is increasing and just the cost of materials increase. But I think a lot of it is that we see Augusta on TV and we think every golf course needs to be as green and lush and flowery as Augusta, and it doesn't have to be. So a lot of it is that greens fees cost so much because golfers have high expectations on what a golf course should look like, and it doesn't necessarily have to look like that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think it depends on what the golf course is. You know,
Even though I'll stop you there, I'll say this. Usually, if I'm paying more than $200,
oh
I'm
sure,
there's a few things that I'm gonna want to see. Like, okay, you know what? I don't want to see like the greens completely like there's a bunch of like ball marks
oh
everywhere,
I'll agree with that for sure.
or like the tees, the tee boxes are all messed up. I'm like,
But
I'm
no,
paying two
for
hundred dollars
sure.
here.
For sure. But you can go out to the, as a Somerset County resident and get your county card and go play one of the non-Nishanic ones, and it's like $37 on the weekend to walk. So like, I mean, everything is out there, and I think those golf courses are in fine shape. Like they're not
Yeah,
not dog tracks.
yeah.
So
Which one is your favorite, by the way, besides Neshanik? I mean, the
Besides
Shanik is a
Oceanic,
yeah,
I like Quailbrook. I think that's a really good one.
yeah. I haven't. I mean, I usually play Greenall because it's literally my backyard.
Yeah,
But
Greenville, I have a little bit of a love hate relationship with from back in the old days. You know, once you kind
why?
of, I just never played well at it.
That's not that
It's not the
that's not the
course's fault.
courses for yeah.
It's my fault. I accept that I'm not very good at this game. But you have those places. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it depends on what you're right. Like you say, though, it depends on what you're getting. That's like with anything. If I'm paying $150 at a municipal county golf course, then I think that is too high because that doesn't fit what they need, what their mandate is, as my opinion
yeah.
of being accessible golf courses to the public. If you're a municipal or county run golf course, if you're a you know, private, not a private golf course, but like if you're like
Like
an
a
independent,
resort.
if you're independently owned, and you're going to provide extra services on the course, like you're actually going to have water coolers on the course, like which a lot of courses don't have anymore. Like that's like a service that
Yeah,
like you should be, but like yeah, or snacks at one station or something like that. Like yeah, those things obviously cost money to do, and those things obviously but yeah, I think it really all depends. It's kind of like the different tiers of what golf courses are, or you go get your tires replaced, and they say, well, we have three different tiers of tires you can get. And I've made a career out of picking the middle out of everything. I don't want the cheapest version, and I don't need the most expensive version. I want the one
yeah,
that's going to be solid. So I'll just
yeah.
ride it right down the middle.
So, if you have the choice, would you rather walk or ride?
I would like to walk. I think it's a good way to get exercise. I mean, you get a
But
lot of.
actually, and I'm talking walk and carry, not with a caddy, but like
Oh,
actually
well,
walk.
what about the old push cart?
I hate push cars.
Yeah.
I think you're actually like push car is actually like makes you, at least for my back because I have some back issues. I think push car is just like it makes it worse because you're all the time like this.
That could be.
You're
That could
basically
be.
it just like it just
The
yeah
carry bags they have
requires more.
now.
Yeah,
The carry bags they have now are so light, right?
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah. I still like to walk when I can. I think I think I play better when I walk. I don't know if that's statistically proven or not. I don't have the data to back that up, but golf is a lot about feelings too, right? So I feel like I play better. You get a little bit more exercise, but listen, if you want to ride and that's how you want to enjoy the game, like who am I to stop?
yeah, exactly. So what's the unwritten etiquette rule that most recreational golfers break that just drives you completely crazy? It's that one thing that you're out there and you see some people and you go like, "Holy crap, what the heck is this?"
Um, I will give you two. One is not. I don't think this is like just recreational golfers. I think this is golfers in general. Not fixing your ball marks on the green. Fix your ball marks on the green, and then people always complain, oh, the greens were bumpy. Yeah, because you probably didn't fix your ball mark either, like from 2 weeks ago. So that's why they're like that. Like everyone, all the golfers, while you're paying to play it, like you're also like need to be a good steward of the golf course so that it has conditions that you want it to see.
Yeah,
And the second thing is like you just go right to your ball. If you're walking, you don't need to walk all together. And then when you get to the 250-yard marker, split off into four different directions. That
yeah.
just slows everything down, I think. So like you can just go right to your ball, and then I'll meet you on the green. Like we'll reconvene in 5 or 10 minutes from here. But it's just pace of play things that kind of add up over the course of a round that kind of get frustrating sometimes.
Well, now, on the other hand, let's say that you're like at a really nice golf course that you're like, okay, I'm probably not going to come back here anytime soon. Do you want to be like the ready golf guy, or do you want to like, okay, I'm going to enjoy I'm going to go ahead and do it
Well,
the right way?
I think you could do both. I think, yeah, like if you're ready to hit the ball, but you could also like still enjoy the surroundings and enjoy where you are. I'm not saying it has to be a military march, but
Yeah,
of course. I mean, when I went to Ireland, our rounds, we played pretty ready golf. I mean, that's how they do it over there in Ireland. They say, okay, and go hit it. And like, I mean, our round still took 5 hours, but because
Yeah,
we were
because
enjoying well, yeah, I had
yeah,
a
you
few
were
pints of
probably
Guinness maybe too,
yeah,
so that could have slowed it
yeah,
down toward the end of the round. Uh, but yeah, you still still enjoy where you're at. Um, just like the big thing is to be like, and this is the same thing with people see it on the tour. Like it takes them a minute and a half to hit a putt. Like you don't need a minute and a half to read a putt.
yeah.
Just to miss it by 6 feet was what most people are going to do anyway from 55 feet. Like just hit the ball, man. Like you know, I don't think they mimic what they see on TV, and
I
everyone,
mean those guys. I mean those guys, obviously,
and
listen. I mean,
they're playing for $4 million. Like,
yeah.
what are you paying for $4? Like,
uh I have to say, like, even when I remember having my best rounds, like my absolute best rounds, a lot of times, I mean, I wouldn't say a lot of times, all of those times was because I took my time. I was like,
I think you could take your. I think taking your time and being deliberately slow are two different things. I think you could still take your time, but you can
eh,
do things in a way that doesn't hold up everybody else either.
yeah, like I guess you shouldn't be an a hole and just go
I
ahead
mean, like
and
you can kind of get your numbers while someone else is hitting. Like you don't need to start your
oh yeah,
routine while
oh yeah,
someone.
that
That's what
that
I'm
for
saying. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
that for
And you
sure.
don't need
Like,
to start reading your putt when it's your turn to putt. Like you could start reading your putt while somebody else is putting. Like there's just things that you don't have to wait for your turn to start preparing for your turn. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, yeah, because that's really annoying. Sometimes it's like people like just go ahead and you're like, okay, listen, I already hit. Like,
Yeah.
what are you waiting
Now
for?
what?
Like
Yeah.
you're like all the way
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like hey, like listen, if you're gonna hit it, you know you're not hitting a 4 iron from the high fescue. So like just take a wedge.
Right, right. Just punch it out. Like let's keep right. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying like it has to be. I don't want golf to be a 3.5 hour speed run, but
yeah.
when the golf course is full, it's important to try to keep it. Not I don't want to keep it moving, but you know, be ready when it's your turn.
Yeah, so now kind of like this is also touches on etiquette
What are we doing to the
and
fun questions, Danny?
yeah, no, it's kind of like I guess the fun questions to you. But what is your take on the golf fashion? Like how some people now it's just
Oh
like
yeah,
you're basic.
listen, some of that stuff may not be for me, but if you fit the if it fits what the club's or the course's dress code is, then go have at it. What am I going to do? What's the matter to me? I got other things to worry about. I got my own game to worry about. It doesn't matter what you wear to me. I got my own 85 to worry about.
You're 85. Uh, Nowadays it's more like a 90. Uh,
Well, it may be for the first round out because, like I said, I haven't touched a club since December, so it's going to be interesting.
Good man. So as we kind of start wrapping it up, but like, do you have any plans for the summer for like any trips or anything that you're planning to?
No golf trips plans, but I do have a trip coming up to go to the Heritage down in Hilton Head in the middle
Also,
of
like
April.
next
So
month.
yeah, next month, yeah. So that'll be fun. Harbor Town is like my favorite golf course. I think I
And why
will.
is that?
Well, if you subscribe to the newsletter, Danny, you'll find out why during Heritage Week because that's a newsletter coming out. So I don't want to spoil it. From
Okay.
thejobsone.substack.com. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's one of my favorite places, and it being my brother's birthday that week, we're gonna go down there and go watch some golf. So that'll be a fun one. Um, no golf trips planned, but I can always keep an eye out looking for things. You never know what's gonna pop up. What kind of deal is gonna pop up for a place to go visit?
Nice. Nice. So, and what do you consider like? What are the good elements of a golf, like a good golf trip? Like, what are the things that you need to be? Obviously, hey, we all want to go ahead and play in these really fancy places, right? But like, okay, we don't have the money, right? What is the one thing that you gotta have
I
for a
think
good golf trip?
I think that if you're going to a place that has other things to do other than golf, if you're not just stuck with golf, like you could play 36 holes in a day, or you like, and then you'll get tired and sore by the third day of doing that. I mean, if you're going to certain places, like that you need to do that. Like if you won the Band of Nudes lottery, you need to go play 36 a day because like you're never going back there. But if you're especially if you're going with a whole group of people, if you're going like with 12 or 16 people on a golf trip, you need other things to
Yeah,
do other than golf because like maybe like I want to go to a few of us will go to the brewery down the street, or maybe, and then some other people will go to the other little attraction in that city. So, try because if when you spend too much time together, you're just going to be bickering by the end of the golf trip. And that's not what golf trips are supposed to be. They're supposed to be fun and enjoyable. And you don't want to be pissed off at each other on plane flying back home.
yeah,
So, spaces to get away and spaces to, kind of do other additional things other than golf because golf travel is a way to kind of explore other places also. Like, I saw No Laying Up, they did their tourist sauce in Michigan a few years ago. Like, I would never think to go to Michigan, but like, all right, well, I can go play these golf courses in Michigan and also go to, go to the University of Michigan and go to Ann Arbor, or I can go to Grand
yeah.
Rapids and go to the brewery scene there. So like kind of things like that kind of augment the trip that it's not just golf. Now, listen, Pinehurst is awesome, and I think everyone should go to Pinehurst, which is really just the whole community is focused on golf down there.
Yeah.
But I think having other things to do that's other than golf and ways to escape the game because if when you have a bad day out there, like on the first 18, the last thing you want to do is like, all right, let's loop this thing again. You
Yeah.
you don't want the golf trip to be a chore. You want it to be enjoyable, and it's a vacation for you. You don't want it to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. It's listen, so it's, I don't know about you, but playing 36 holes takes a big toll on me.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I don't need it. I don't.
Yeah,
Right. I don't need. Right. Then you have to pay. How much Advil are you spending on, and how much icy hot do
yeah,
you need? Like,
yeah,
yeah.
and not just not and the drinking, the like,
Oh
it's
gosh. Just give me 18, maybe a little, maybe a little. All the resorts are doing now. They're putting in those little like short par three courses, those 9, 12
yeah,
hole par three courses. That's the way to go.
yeah. I was just talking to a friend that was down in Cabo Citrus Farms, and they were telling me that they have the range 24/7. And I'm just like thinking that's amazing. You're in the middle of the you're
Wow.
drunk and you're like, okay, let me just go ahead and hit some balls.
At 2 in the morning. All right, let's turn the lights on and see how it goes. But,
Yeah, that might not be good for your body, but but it's a great idea.
yeah, yeah. You never know what you could do with a few beers in yourself. So
Oh yeah, you can do anything you want.
you get to the zone of false confidence and you're good to go.
Yeah. But listen, Brian, this was really fun. I really appreciate it, man. Definitely looking forward to reading your newsletter. Looking forward to May 2nd. I'm gonna try to get a partner, but if not, looking forward to playing with whoever I get per up.
We'll get
Yeah,
you there.
but
Yeah, Danny, this is great. Everything is all the socials are from the Drop Zone, and it's from the dropzone.substack.com is the newsletter. So
yeah,
uh,
definitely, and
drop a follow, drop a
yeah,
subscribe.
yeah, and guys out there, if you're looking to sign up, make sure you sign up because it's really fun stuff that they do, and I'm actually I'm really looking forward to it. Maybe I can be part of the winning team. We'll see.
I hope so. I hope so. I always look forward to it too. They're I am biased, but I think they're fun ways to play that aren't just necessarily you hit your own ball all the times.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. Thanks, man. Let me do